Hi, I'm Chef Raphael and welcome to today's episode. I'm going to show you how to make pumpkin and spinach pasta with curry and coconut. It's a really simple dish to make. I'm using the Barilla Arrabbiata sauce for the tomato aspect of the dish, and I'm using the pasta, the fusilli pasta, which is the spiral one, and the combination is lovely. Let's get started and let's see how simple it is. So welcome to the show, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so that you're actually notified whenever I have a new recipe out. I post weekly videos on cooking and baking, and my channel is all about making you a better home cook or baker. Today's recipe is actually inspired by, previously I was doing a series of recipes where I was using some curry powder, and whenever I was doing research on doing recipes for this product. Today I'm using the Arrabbiata sauce. It's basically tomato sauce with chili peppers or with chilies, and it's really delicious by itself, but today I'm going to make it a little bit different. I'm using coconut cream, the curry powder I mentioned, and then for the veggies, because this is a vegetarian dish, I'm using pumpkin and spinach. I also will have some onion. And for the pasta, I'm using the fusilli pasta. Now, fusilli is the one that is spiral. And when it comes to any pasta, whenever you're making pasta, it's always good to check on the cooking time. And this one actually says 11 minutes. So while the pasta is cooking, the first thing we want to do is to fry the onion. So make sure the pan is hot, and then you add the oil. When you actually add the oil to a hot pan, you tend to use less oil. And so the idea is to brown the onion, but while that is cooking, let's cut the pumpkin. So for the pumpkin that I'm using just half. Again, this is based on the size, the amount that I can actually be able to cook. Then I'm going to cut them in smaller pieces, like cubes, it's fine. The smaller you cut them, the faster they will take to cook. You can opt to boil this in advance, but what I'm going to do so that it actually cooks faster is I'm going to cook it together with the onion, like that, so that it gives it time for the heat to penetrate into the pumpkin. Now the Arrabbiata sauce, like I said earlier, has chilies, and basically really ripe tomatoes, really high quality, that has a specific flavor. If you don't have the sauce, you can still use blended tomato, and then maybe you add some chili to it. It will still work. It's just that this will give you a consistent flavor whenever you're using it. Now that I've added the pumpkin, what I'm going to do for it to cook faster is to cover it with a lid so that it actually steams, and then the heat will actually penetrate faster into the pumpkin and will cook faster. The onion is caramelized and brown. At this point, add the curry powder. It's about 1 large tablespoon, just under a minute for the curry powder to cook. And then now I'm going to add the Arrabbiata sauce. That's the sound you want to hear whenever you have a new can, and it smells nice. So I'm adding the sauce. At this point, first of all, I'm going to add the spinach. And I haven't added any salt because the sauce also has some salt. If I need to add salt, I'll add it later after I give it a taste. So right now I'm going to cover it again and give it some time for about a minute or two for the spinach to wilt. So when doing this, make sure the heat is on medium or low, to avoid the sauce from sticking. But right now I'm going to add the coconut cream. You can also use coconut milk. And stir. If you don't like coconut, you can use regular cream. Pasta is still al dente. Now add enough so that you'll be able to stir. So like I said earlier, the amount is actually dependent on your size of pan. You should have a nice balance of pasta and the sauce and the vegetable. So I don't want it runny. It's ready. Just to confirm the salt. So it's actually really nice. I can taste the chili. Again, Arrabbiata has chili, even you can see it on the picture here. If you don't have Arrabbiata, you can use the Napolitana sauce, but this is perfect. This is ready. It's delicious. To be honest, you actually don't need meat in this. This is perfect, and it's ready to go. Now, one quick tip about leftover pasta. All you need to do so that it doesn't stick together, if you're going to use it later, is add a little bit of oil, preferably something like sunflower oil, corn oil, or even olive oil, and then the pasta is rejuvenated. And even when you place it in the fridge, it won't stick together. And when it comes to reheating it, all I need to do is add hot water to it, and then it comes back alive. You don't put it in the microwave. I've tried this before. When you put this, you reheat pasta in the microwave, it doesn't work very well. So just add hot water to this. But back to our dish. This is a really simple dish, as you have seen. It's remember, if you don't like curry powder, you can skip the curry powder. Just use the Arrabbiata sauce. If you don't like chili, you can use any other of the Barilla sauces. Hope you've learned something new. I'm Chef Raphael signing out. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Until next time.